The morning sun cut through the dense fog of the ancient valley. Your feet felt the damp mud as you stepped out into reality. Every rustle in the dense ferns signaled a potential deadly threat nearby. A massive set of fresh tracks pressed deeply into the soft earth. A massive cave bear suddenly emerged from the dark tree line ahead. You quickly grabbed a sharp flint tool tucked inside your waistband. Survival required absolute focus and constant awareness of your primitive surroundings. Your small nomadic tribe waited patiently near the shallow riverbank. An experienced elder gestured toward the distant snow-covered mountain peaks. The harsh winter weather was arriving much earlier than anyone expected. Finding a secure shelter became the absolute top priority for tonight. Two young hunters carried a heavy bundle of dried willow firewood. A wild prehistoric horse sprinted across the wide yellow grassland pasture. You carefully gathered sweet wild berries into a woven grass basket. A sudden loud hawk cry echoed across the empty sky above. The tribal leader decided to stop near a crystal-clear spring. Everyone worked together quickly to build a temporary brushwood windbreak. Striking two pieces of pyrite together produced a tiny, fragile spark. A thin wisp of gray smoke rose from the tinder bundle. The bright, crackling campfire brought immediate warmth to the shivering group. Darkness enveloped the ancient wilderness as nocturnal predators began their hunt. A ferocious saber-toothed cat snarled violently from the thick shadows. You waved your burning torch frantically to keep the beast away. The fierce predator turned around and melted back into the woods. Heavy rain started pouring down, threatening to extinguish the campsite fire. Everyone quickly retreated inside the deep limestone cavern for dry protection. The ancient cave walls were covered in old-hand stencils. An old storyteller began recounting tales of past epic mammoth hunts. A giant deer grazed peacefully along the misty lake shore outside. The next morning brought clearer skies and brand new hunting opportunities. You carefully sharpened a fresh wooden spear point using rough sandstone. A large herd of aurochs slowly migrated across the southern plain. The hunting party split into two groups to surround the prey. A sudden loud noise startled the herd into a wild stampede. You accidentally slipped on some loose gravel and fell down hard. A massive woolly rhino charged directly through the dense brushwood. Your companion threw a heavy stone to distract the charging beast. The distraction worked perfectly, and the massive beast veered away northward. The tribe gathered near a large ancient oak tree to rest. A massive ancient bird circled high above the wide open plateau. Water was running dangerously low inside the heavy leather water bags. A skilled scout discovered a small hidden stream behind some boulders. Everyone drank the cool, fresh mountain water eagerly to restore energy. A large ground sloth lumbered slowly through the thick forest canopy. The tribal hunters decided not to disturb the giant, peaceful herbivore. You found a great source of hard, dark obsidian stone pieces. Using obsidian allowed the tribe to manufacture incredibly sharp hunting tools. A huge dire wolf barked loudly from a nearby rocky ridge. The pack was trailing your small group for several hours straight. The leader ordered everyone to form a protective defensive circle immediately. Shouting loudly together managed to scare the cautious wolf pack away. The tribe continued their long journey across the vast open marshland. A giant beaver swimming nearby had constructed an enormous wooden dam. Crossing the deep, marshy water required careful stepping on logs. You found some high-quality clay near the riverbank soil. The clever children played safely near the warm afternoon camp fire. A sudden cold wind blew from the north, freezing the grass. A terrifying short-faced bear guarded the narrow mountain path ahead. The tribe slowly backtracked to avoid an unnecessary, deadly confrontation. You discovered a hidden valley that was rich with edible roots. Gathering roots provided the tribe with essential nutrients for the journey. A massive flock of prehistoric birds flew across the red sunset sky. The team decided to set up camp inside an ancient pine grove. Pine resin worked amazingly well as a strong primitive glue substance. A dangerous thunderstorm began to roll violently across the open plains. A sudden lightning strike set a nearby dead bush on fire. The tribe carefully harvested the natural fire to light their torches. Carrying live embers required special containers made of thick green bark. A huge terror bird stood aggressively near the ancient river crossing. You found a narrow, shallow spot where the river ran slower. The whole tribe safely crossed the river one by one carefully. You dried your wet clothes near a new warm stone fireplace. An expert craftsman carved a beautiful bone needle for sewing hides. Using sinew thread allowed the creation of warm animal fur boots. A wild prehistoric horse heard past by the distant green hills. The tribal leader mapped out the next destination using simple sticks. A sudden rustling noise from the tall grass broke the silence. A massive aurochs bull stepped out into the open meadow pathway. You aimed your heavy flint-tipped spear at the magnificent animal. The powerful beast snorted loudly and stomped the ground with force. With a quick throw, the spear flew directly through the air. The successful hunt meant the entire tribe would eat well tonight. Two strong hunters dragged the heavy meat back toward the camp. The women skillfully sliced the fresh meat into long, thin strips. Hanging the strips over smoke preserved the meat for future travels. A dangerous cave bear approached the camp looking for easy leftovers. The brave guards threw burning wood chunks to defend the meat supply. The giant bear growled loudly before retreating into the dark woods. An evening feast brought great joy and laughter to the group. The wise elder shared secrets about reading the seasonal star patterns. A bright shooting star flashed brilliantly across the dark midnight sky. Everyone slowly fell asleep inside the safe warmth of the shelter. A lone sentry stood guard near the entrance all night long. The next morning brought a fresh layer of crisp white snow. A majestic giant deer left fresh tracks across the white powder. The tribe packed their few belongings to prepare for longer travel. The long journey toward the great southern valley had officially begun. You took one final look back at the old cave shelter. The true test of human survival was waiting over the horizon. Your ancient ancestors marched forward bravely into a completely unknown world.